First of all, I want to know your names, and I want so actually it's ethical, but you can choose to open your name or just use a nickname or fake name. And I want to
It's okay.
write your name. You want to
Yeah,
show
sure.
in my article first.
So, just my name, right?
Yeah.
Do you need my full name?
Actually, his name is Joy.
It's K-I-E-R-U-L-F.
So his name is Joy. It's happy.
K-I-E
R-U-L-F.
I-U-L-F
Wag na sanang ano.
and
Yes.
Y-E-P-E-Z.
Y-E-P-E-Z.
Y-E-P-E-Z. Okay. And how about you?
So I'm not good.
Why didn't put the joy to your name? So nice.
Just my nickname.
Okay.
May nakita ko.
This is my name.
Okay.
So you can call me Jabs.
Jabs. And which one is I forgot, is this one's name or this one's name?
It's my first name and my
Okay.
family.
You better
Uh-huh.
tell to him rap.
Yeah, or you can use RAP. R-A-P. It's
R
my
A P
name.
rap. It's easy. R-A-P.
Oh,
A bit better and easy for you to.
okay. So the first question is about when did you come to Macau and why?
I came here 2 years ago. I used to work in Thailand as an intern. I work at JW Marriott. I came here because my aunt is here. She's also working in my previous hotel, but here in Macau at JW. And I came here because I thought that I'd be able to work in the same hotel, which I was in Thailand, but there was no quota. Like, it's quota basis here in Macau, right? So I looked for a job here, and after my 4th day, I told myself that whichever comes first, then I'd take it. And I applied as a baker, and after my 4th day staying in Macau, I was able to get a job.
Yes. So okay, and you?
Oh yeah, I just came here for work.
Yes. And how did you find the job? And how many years?
Actually, my dad is here.
Uh-huh.
For 11 years, and then he asked me to go here, and then he had me interviewed in his job, and I was accepted. I was offered a job for the bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many years?
I've been there for about 2 years, and then I transferred in Lisboa last 2016. Yeah.
Okay. And how about you?
Actually, I just came here last 2016, and I work for my first job is barista or a waiter in a Japanese restaurant. And then after 5 months, finishing my contract, I transferred to a hotel in JW Marriott. Then I'm already 1 year and 4 years. 1 year and 4 months in the company
Okay.
at the present.
So totally.
Yeah, actually, I've been working abroad like 12 years already.
Okay.
So my first job is in Dubai.
Okay.
So after I graduated, I go to Dubai. I went to Dubai and then to work there for like around 9 years. Then I went here to Macau just to look around and find some great opportunities. And then I found some job. Then for me, it's a great experience. New environment, new culture. So that's why I stick to the country at the moment.
Okay. So it's 2016.
16, yeah.
Okay. So all of you guys come here for 2 years.
Yeah.
More or less.
More than them are more than they're staying here more than
I'm
3
staying here
years.
for more than 2 years.
4 for me.
4 years.
4 years.
3. I think he is working about
More
3
less.
more than 3 years.
No, less than 3 years.
Less than 3 years.
Almost 3 years.
Yes. Okay. So did you enjoy your life in Macau?
I do. From my first experience, I was working in Thailand. I enjoyed like the scenery, like the beach and stuff, but the salary is not that big, unlike here in Macau. So even though the culture and the environment is not the same, it's okay because it pays. You know, the reason why we came here to abroad is to earn money, and you know, so yeah, I think I'm enjoying Macau.
Yeah. And how about you?
Yeah, I actually like it here a lot.
Really?
Because in the Philippines, you have to go to work, and then you're worrying about someone going in your back and then putting a knife in your belly, and then like give me all your stuff. but here in Macau, I'm walking like late at night, and I don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, it's not dangerous here and so peaceful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, at the moment I'm enjoying, but in my first 3 months to 6 months working in this place, I mean this country, I've been adjusting a lot because Dubai culture is different to like Asia. Middle East is different to Asian country, so I used to have like a little bit good life there. No, a good life there. But when I arrived to Macau, it's just you gonna, I mean, using a bus for transportations. So I mean, you used to work with your own car there, but when you come here, so adjustments. So that's I'm talking about the adjustments, and the people around also is different because I'm working there different kind of people. So, but at the moment I'm enjoying it here because I have a great family, a new family here. I mean, especially when I'm staying here in this place.
Okay.
So for now, I mean, I'm enjoying myself.
Okay. But did you have any trouble at the very beginning in Macau?
Well, actually, I had, but it's concerned with the visa. Because when I came here, honestly, I was not given the visa for working yet. So it was actually very illegal because I stayed here for 25 days without the proper visa for employment. So not me, but my boss paid like 12,500 MOP because I need to wait for my visa to come. But it did came, but they had to pay a lot of money and it's illegal. So yeah, I think so far has been the trouble when it comes to my employment. But when it comes to safety and security, there's no doubt it's very safe in Macau. Just if you're talking about the troubles that I've encountered, I think that would be because it's not safe to like overstay in a country, especially if you don't have the permanent visa to stay, you know.
But I mean the live travel, do you know how to take
Like
bus?
travel.
Oh, well,
Or do
as I
because-
told earlier, I was able to get a job like after 4 days that I was here, so I don't have any idea when it comes to like taking public buses or anything. So I remember my boss told me to go to Macau shop, and then I'm thinking that Macau and Taipa is the same because Macau I'm thinking as like Macau is just the same, but I didn't know that there was like Taipa, Caloocan, and Macau part. So I went to Taipa because it's the only shop that I know that they operate, and I didn't know that they have one here in Costa where I should go. So I was late for my interview, I think for 4 hours. Yeah, and I thought I would be in trouble. But
Well, it's take 4 more hours to.
I was
for you
late
to-
4 hours during the first time that I will be interviewed by the boss. So yeah, it was not a good impression. But I was late 4 hours.
Okay.
But they did wait for me because they know that I'm having trouble taking the bus.
Okay.
I think I went to Caloocan. Yeah, I
Caloocan,
went
wow.
all the way to Caloocan because I don't know which bus to take.
Okay.
It's true. Yeah.
Okay. Because the Macau bus don't have the.
Yeah, and during the
English.
first week, I think I took the taxi 2 times because because I used to live in Barra, so I should ride number 3 to go to the Red Market, and I took 3X, so it went me to Zhuhai terminal, like the border gate.
Okay.
So I don't know where am I, so I had to take the taxi.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must pay a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you? Do you have any trouble at the beginning?
I mean, the first thing I encountered here is that a lot of people don't speak English that much. So my first work, all of them don't speak English. So like I don't know what to do, but that's like a challenge for me. So like after a year of working there, I was able to adapt to the language. I was able to learn some stuff. Yeah, I think that's it, and it's pretty good here. So I can't. No,
Okay.
nothing.
Okay. How about you?
Traveling going somewhere Summer Macau. Summer the
I
I mean,
place.
any trouble that
Any
you
trouble?
face.
Trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, trouble. It's just a matter of the language, yeah. Because as he have said earlier, that people are not speaking English most of the time. I mean, only some like students can speak, but if you're gonna ask the older people, so they used to use the language, the Chinese language. So I think I adjusted a lot when it comes to talking to the people where I'm going. So when I ask them, they don't know. So sign language, you're gonna use the sign language for you to be able to understand what they're talking, what they want, what does it mean. So after the long run, so I adjust a lot. I mean, I adjusted, so it's easy for me. So even though I try to speak Chinese, but he's very good in Chinese. I mean, he can speak Chinese, good Chinese. For me, even in other place, it's hard for me to speak also, because I used to speak English more than the language that they are using here in Macau. So, but no, it's okay, it's fine.
So you,
I want to add more. Actually, one of the troubles that I think I had was the street signs, because they don't have English street signs. If it's not Chinese, it's Portuguese.
Yes.
So I don't know the two languages. So if I want to go somewhere, it's not easy for me to like remember something. Like if I want to go to here, okay, I need to remember the Portuguese name. And yeah, I think it's very hard. That's why I'm always lost. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So you cannot understand Chinese
No.
or Mandarin
No.
and
yeah.
even speak a little bit word.
I do, but only the ones that I use for work.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
Like what?
Like the name of the bread, like how like the milk, just a simple ways on how to describe something to my friends.
Okay. So I know you can speak Cantonese, right?
Yeah, just Cantonese.
How did you learn the Cantonese?
Because of my previous job, so I was like the only Filipino there, and we have Vietnamese waitresses and Indonesian and Macanese, so I don't have any option but to learn. So like if they tell one thing to me, I just put it in the paper and then like remember one word per day, and then until I can construct a sentence. Then the first thing or the first word I learned was litikumea. So that's why if like I will call my colleague and then litikumea, then you can ask everything. Then yeah, that's how I learned.
Okay. So how many years did you take? to learn?
What does it mean?
Maybe 2.
2 years.
Yeah, in my previous work, and when I transferred in Lisboa, I was already able to speak the language. Not that good, but it's understandable, I think.
So you can read Chinese
Uh,
well.
not read, but not
Some-
actually read entire sentences, but the menu and the food, and then some characters I can write a little bit.
It's like familiar.
Mhm.
Okay. I see. So you cannot read and speak on.
Speak a little bit, like the basic. I mean, like hi, hello, how are you? What else? Like, even though I want to learn, but it's really hard for me to, to learn about it,
Okay.
because I don't know. It's not in my in my attitude. I was patient enough to learn different language, but most of the time we speak English. Yeah.
So how did you learn hi, hello? How
No, I mean basically in the hotel, so
Uh-huh.
or in the restaurants. So we've been told like to study this series of words that we used to encounter when you encounter some guests. So you need to say it. So by everyday life that you're working in that place, so you're gonna memorize everything. So that's how I learned from it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you have any friends in Macau?
I do. Mostly are students. Yeah, because in my job, most of my workmates are part time, and most of them are students, and they like being friends with me. I think because they're learning a lot of English. Yeah, and they use it at school. And sometimes I have one instance where one of my friends took a textbook, I think, and he was asking me to like help her do some assignments, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which I'm not answering. It's just he just want to know the thought of the question, and so I'm like dictating, like, how she should answer the question to this and to that. And I think that's why they like me at my workplace, because besides from the job, I'm also helping them with their studies.
Wow, it's a
Yeah, it's a multitasking job, you know.
yeah. And do you have any friends in Macau?
Yep, I do. Like not Macanese, few of them, but most of my colleagues are mainland Chinese people. So yeah, not just colleagues, but I was like friendly to them, and then they were like the same to me. So yeah, sometimes I go to China, and then they treat me food right over there. Then when we go to work, we're like just not just colleagues, but like close friends. Yeah.
Wow. And how about you?
Friends, different national, not the Filipino, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have a French friend who used to help me in looking for the job. I mean, she's an interior designer in a university, IFT University. You know that one. He's the interior professor there. Then I met her in a job. Then she let me to introduce to her friends, different like Australia, New Zealander, everything. That's why I have the great opportunity to know different people. So that's why Chinese also. Then after that, they treat me somewhere else in a restaurant, which I like also. And I mean, it's a great opportunity for me to know them, because like if I need some help, they can help me because they're working in a higher position. So they have some friends director or the owner who can talk to help me to ask my friend to be in the job. So I think that's the friends that I met in this place. I mean in the country.
Yes. Okay. So, how did you get along with your co-workers?
I get along very well because in my company, there's 3 nationalities. I work with the French, I work with the Chinese, both in Macau and mainland Chinese. Yeah, I work very well with them. Though I sometimes have trouble at first understanding the nature of behavior when it comes to the mainland Chinese. Because at first I didn't know how to speak Chinese, and so I thought sometimes that they are like shouting at me, but really they're just trying to say something. They just have the manner of saying words very loud at times. So I think they were shouting, and sometimes I was hurt even though I didn't really understand. And they don't understand also that I'm not okay with them doing that. So it was really very the culture is not the same, because back from where I'm from, you should not have a very loud tone when you speak to people because it's very rude. But after some time I realized that it's just the way that they talk. They're not rude, it's just culture differences. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was able to adapt to that. And also the French guys, they're also, I think it's easier for Filipinos to adapt to that kind of thing, but for the French it's not really, because being French, I think they're very they think high of themselves and they think you should adjust to them. But yeah, I think that it's something that you can't really take out of the mainland Chinese, is being loud. But I'm friends with a lot of them. Yeah, so yeah, I just think that they're loud, but they're very nice people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, your turn. So, how did you get along with your college?
Since I was able to speak the language, I don't have any problems with them. It's like we're just friends to work, and then we're very happy. Jokes here, jokes there. Then I can tell them, or I can ask them what I need to know, and then I can tell them what I want them to know. So, I don't have any problems at work. We understand each other very well. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. How about you?
For me, basically every one of us, if you meet some different people, so language is the great barrier for us to to get along with the people, because language is how we're gonna communicate them, how you will understand them. So for me, I've been working in abroad for many years with different culture, different people. So when I came to Macau, I know already there, like Chinese people, Nepal, Indian, French, British. So I've known already their how they work, how they speak, how they work in the workplace. So when I came to Macau, so it's just easy for me to get along with them, even though it's hard for me to understand their language. Through their gestures like that, so you can easily understand what they want to imply to you like that. So easy for me, basically based on my experience in the past years.
Okay. So do you usually pay attention to the weather report?
The weather
Macau weather report.
Actually, yeah, because I used to watch television, but you mean the news here in Macau?
No, I mean
the
only
weather news,
report.
the weather report only. Actually, when Typhoon Hato came, so now we are so like vigilant of the news. Like if there's any like rain, at least you're prepared enough, because so if you are aware of the news, the weather news, you know what to bring when you go out at home and you go to your workplace. So now you're ready. So for me, I think it's like, because of that typhoon, it gives us like a wake up call for you to prepare yourselves in any circumstances, any problems, or any typhoon coming soon. Yeah, I mean
By which channel or which media?
actually different weather. I know. I mean news that like TDM. Yeah, TDM is basically the most news I've watched, because like it's an English news, right? I can easily understand. Without subtitle, I couldn't understand. I mean, I can understand what they're talking in the news. So most of the time, TDM news. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did the bad weather will influence your work?
I'm sorry.
Did the bad weather, like the heavy rain or heavy typhoon, so your company will?
No, they're talking about like there will be coming heavy rains. So they are like telling the people the future weather. So they're trying to imply, like trying to report what to prepare, how heavy it is, the rain. So that's what they are reporting.
No, what he meant is, does the bad weather report affect your work?
As you're talking about the report of the weather affect
bad
myself.
report.
Yeah.
It depends, and I mean it depends on what they are reporting. So like for the reporting about, like, even though it's bad and it really, I mean it helps you, to wake up. It's a wake up call for you to prepare. So I think you need to take of it. I mean,
Yeah. So did you usually pay attention to the weather report?
I do, but I usually get the reports from TDM Macau on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, because usually Filipinos don't really watch the TV because we don't have Filipino channel. So I think the most reliable is Facebook, because we're always on our phone. And the most, I think, Filipinos always are watched for is the TDM Macau.
Yeah.
Yeah, because not only it's in English, but there are also Filipino newscasters working in there, I think. Because I have one friend from TDM, and she always
You mean
tells
the
me...
girl?
Yeah, the girl.
Okay, I know.
You know her?
I know her.
And she always tells me to like watch the TDM news, that she will be on report. Oh, so okay, I'll watch the report for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how did you know there's a television called TDN?
I saw it on Facebook, because mostly if you're friends with people who are also registered on the same account, it will appear on your Facebook as a liked post. And so I try to follow because I think it's interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, and so every time I look on my feed, I see the TDM news.
So you see your friends share anything about TDN, then you follow the TDN.
Yeah, I do. I follow TDM always. Just
Oh.
TDM, not other Chinese news.
Okay. Okay. And how about you?
Yeah.
Do you pay attention to the weather report usually?
I don't actually watch the TV. I don't watch the news, but I just check the weather app in my phone like every day, just to check how cold it is or how hot. Yeah, but during the typhoon, I was like sleeping, and it caught me off guard because that day I didn't check the news, and then I woke up like 11 in the morning and was like checking the window, and it's like shaking a lot, and then the wind is like just bangs here in the glass. So I was like, should I go to work or not?
Yeah.
And then we opened the television. Actually, my aunt here, she asked me to open the television and check the news, and then we saw it there that there's like everything was suspended here. The buses, the works. Yeah. So like I was calling our company, and then they don't answer the phone also. So I just stayed here at home, sleep.
Oh, and there's one thing more I need to add. So one reason that we need to follow the weather advisory in my workplace is because if the weather advisory says that it would be signal number 8, then my boss told us to not come to work because it's not safe. But if it's like signal number 2 and you came to work, and then it rising up while you were at work, then you cannot stay out of work. But if it's signal number 8 and they still ask you to work, then they would have to pay you double.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we need to keep in mind that.
But you only check the TVN news, right?
Yeah, but also sometimes the weather advisory on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
because it's automatic, right? Sometimes.
Okay. And I want to ask one more question, because you mentioned you follow the weather apps.
Mhm.
So what the apps mean?
Actually, not an application. Sometimes I use AccuWeather, but sometimes I check in smg.gov.mo.
Can you show me?
Yeah, sure. I think that's Macau government.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Just 1 second. Yeah, this one.
Oh, how do you know this website?
Just I have a friend before. He lives here in Macau, but he went out of town. Then he never went back. But he just told me check this site because they have accurate weather reports than the other apps you get to download in the Google Play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How many years did he stay at Macau?
That guy, I think 8 or
Wow.
yeah.
It's a quite a long time.
Yeah. He's been here for long.
Yeah. Okay. So, do you read the Macau news usually?
News. You mean the newspaper?
I mean the
Or
any
any news-
local news. Yes.
If it only appears in my Facebook, I will read it. But if not, I mean just a random reading, not like you're reading every day, not like that.
Mm-hmm.
If like there is like a good or an how do we say that? How do we call that? A catchy heading or outline. I mean title of the article. So I will gonna read it. If it's just like nothing, so I just leave it. But that most of the time I'm reading.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think that the local news is related to you, right?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Okay.
So as like for me as a student like you, I mean I used to be, I mean most of the time I am reading or listening to international like CNN, the Arira, the what else? it's like international, but in the Chinese, I'm not so familiar about their news. I mean, their stations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you usually pay attention to the local news?
Local news. Only if it's on not TDM, but if it's like you're right, because if it usually has a nice headline on the on my phone, I would read it. Like sometimes Hong Kong Times, Hong Kong Times news. Sometimes they put a lot of like catchy headline, but it's not really the content. Like only for you to, they call it the clickbait, so that they would put a false headline, and so you'll end up reading it. But when you read all the content, it's not really what they meant. It's the title is not really like
Because,
suitable for the content. So you'd be clicking it.
So you need to write a very, a catchy heading and a catchy topic for them to be interested on your article. Because if it's like a dead topic, the title, nobody gonna read it.
This is not really concerning about the HATO, but like Hong Kong Times, I always read a lot of comments about it because they usually put headlines about Filipino maids or something like maids like this, but it doesn't really involve the matter. So a lot of people, foreign people, are working in China as like in the household. So they would be interested in reading it, although it's not really concerned about them really. So it's like a false headline, and it will be a clickbait. So a lot of people will be clicking on it. Like it would be like all over Facebook because a lot of people will be clicking on it, but it's not really that. It's like that. If the news is interesting enough to have a nice headline, then maybe I would. But if it's not, then I would rather not because it's not really concerning me. Yeah.
So do you think that the Macau local news is related to you, to yourself?
To myself, well, I think the last HATO, I think a lot of people were mad about the news because I think even the head of the Macau like weather system resigned. I think I've heard because he raised the level the level. I think my friend told me that the big hotels are like predicting him to like not raise the signal very high in the morning so that the employees would come to work. And so a lot of employees were mad because they raised it quite late, a bit 10, when they already went to the hotel. And so the bridge were closed, and so they cannot went back to their homes. So they were forced to like work overtime without like, even if they don't want to work overtime. So they were forced to do that by the company. So I think that's the reason why the chief resigned, because a lot of people were outcried by what happened. Yeah.
How about you?
I too before, but now no, because actually I have this friend. His name is Kyung. He works in MGM and he is like bus ambassador in Macau Ferry. So every morning he goes to our shop, buy coffee, and then he always gives me this Macau Daily
Times
newspaper, and then I used to read it, but now that he's gone, so I don't read the news anymore.
Yeah, so you don't think that the Macau local news is related to yourself?
I mean, kind of, because Macau, I've been here for like about 4 years now, and then the place is not that unfamiliar to me, so I get used to what's happening here. Yeah.
What do you mean about like the local news? Are you referring only to the weather, or
No,
the majority of the news?
Yeah, the news happening in Macau.
If it's regards to that, then it's very important. Because, for example, especially to us Filipinos, like just what happened. Because, just recently, I think they are trying to change the way that employment is happening in Macau. So before, if you're a tourist, then you can come to Macau and then just apply for a job and you'll get it. But now I think they're putting a lot of restrictions to it. Like, if you're not a skilled worker, you cannot come to Macau as a tourist and then find a job, which I think is a very like vital news for us foreign, because a lot of Filipinos are coming here as a tourist because they get to pay a lot of money if they come to Macau, if they apply for work in the Philippines and then come to Macau, then coming to Macau and finding work.
Yeah.
So what they do is do that. I think bringing awareness to a lot of people, like saying that you cannot do this, you can only come to work here directly if you are skilled. I think it's very work related for us Filipinos, because the Macau law, that certain law, concerns us the Filipinos. So I think it's very concerning, and I read the news about it.
From where?
From TDM, because I have friends who are interested to work here in Macau, and I'm telling them that you cannot just come here and do this because they're putting a lot of restrictions. Yeah, so it's very helpful.
Yeah. Okay. So now let me ask something about the Typhoon Hatu, and I want you to say again about your experience during Typhoon Hatu.
So during the Typhoon Hato, like I said earlier, it was like a normal day in the morning. It was not raining, but it had dark skies, I think, but I didn't know that it would be big because the level was very low. So when I came to work around 6:30, it was normal, and then I think it risen up to 10 at 11, I think. Yeah, and I was not expecting that, and so I was already at work. If I knew that it would happen, we would have never opened the shop, But we did, because the government advisory is not very, it was not consistent, I think. And I think they're doing that on purpose. Like I said, because of the big hotels, it would be a big mess if they would not. So yeah, it affected me a lot. Even when I exit work, I had to cross the flood, like chest high. And yeah, it's very hard. Yeah, that's all I can remember. I crossed the flood, and it was a very funny experience. But yeah, it was very dangerous experience too, because you don't know what are you going into, because sometimes there's a lot of shattered glass on the floor, and you're not sure because it's flooded. So I was basically risking my life, but I didn't care.
But you said it's very exciting.
Yeah, for me it's quite exciting because I used to do those kind of things back in college and kind of reminisce some things. But yeah, I would not advise anyone to do that. It's just me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you don't feel dangerous that time?
I did, but I was thinking if I would not do that, it would be more dangerous if I come later. Because it was, I think, 3 p.m. and it's still flooding. So if I come later, it would be dark and it would be a lot dangerous for me. So I told myself it's now or never. If I not do it now, I would not be able to go home. So I just went to my home without hesitations. Just do that. I mean, people are doing it, so why can't you?
Okay.
Because I'm seeing some Chinese people doing it. So yeah, I did the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where did you live?
Here.
Time? Here. Okay.
And I was in Costa. So the biggest flood is in the Red Market. So I crossed the Red Market.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about you?
Yeah, that experience was something I would never forget. I mean, in a good way and in a bad way. In a bad way, because I feel like it's very dangerous because the winds are too strong for you to walk outside, and then something's gonna fall over your head, or you're gonna trip to something. But in a good way, it's like a breath of fresh air, because you come to work every day. You see all the people they have jobs, they have to do something. Then when the typhoon came, you go downstairs, there's flood, and then you see kids, and then older people, and then they were picking up stuff because the market's just down there. There's a lot of fish in the road, and then vegetables, and I think we also picked something like potatoes, and we washed it. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. It's good and bad.
You enjoy picking up all the fish and the vegetables?
We
I
actually
know.
did enjoy it. we have to admit.
Okay.
There's actually a bad and good side of it. Like in my company, it was a very nice opportunity, because from where my company is located, there was actually no damage or anything. So we were able to, we have power supply. So we were able to operate, and we earned like 6 times our daily profit. So it was a positive thing for my company, not for the employees, because it's additional job. But yeah, it was good for the company, I think. That 2 days was like been the busiest day of my life. Yeah, because we're the only thing that's open, because everything was broken. Yeah.
Okay. And how about you?
Actually, during the typhoon, I'm in the hotel. So, the most dangerous part, like, it's a heavy wind. Like, we're on top of the building, so it's so dangerous. And then, one thing that we are concerned about is our guests, because they're in panic. So what you're going to do is you're working there, so it's your responsibility to take care of them, because they're in panic. So where they're gonna go, they want to go down because maybe the building is gonna drop. So by the time I have a lot of different experiences. Like, me also, I'm scared enough also to stay there because I want to save myself. But because I'm working there, so our directors are instructed us to stay calm, okay? Because as if you're riding on an airplane, so if you're a flight stewardess, you need to if there's a trouble, or you need to you're the first person to be stay calm for your passengers to feel safe. So in that experience, oh my god, it's people are they're mess, they're hungry because there's no food, and there's no lift, there's no electricity, there's no the only way for us to be able to go down is using the stairs, and there's no light. So a great experience, you're helping the guests to go down, helping them to bring the water, to stay calm. So by then, during the typhoon, I'm not able to to went home because it's so dangerous. So the bridge stuck. It's not open. So our director advises to stay in the they prepare lots of bed for us to be able to to sleep, then to come to work. To work on the next day. I think it's happy in a way for a great experience in the future. So you are prepared enough what to do next. If that happens to you again, so you know what to do. Basically you are it's a learning experience for all of us. Most especially the people who work in the hotel. There are a lot of lives where you need to save. Because if you're not prepared, what happened to our hotel, we're not prepared. So it's the first time for us, especially in Macau, who experienced this kind of tragic events. Then people are most of the guests are not staying in Macau. They're living in different countries, so they don't know, they're on shock at that time. So by that time, so for me, and it's a great opportunity for us, we need to prepare ourselves in the future if it happens again.
So did you stay in
we stay in the hotel
for
for 1 day, and then on the next day, then they provide us the for us our clothes, socks for us to to wear it on the next day. So they took care of us, because our company took care of us very nicely. We are the priority. So even though it happens, so we are still safe on that on the particular events, or of what happened to us inside the hotel.
How did you get home after you finish work?
No, actually, they opened the bridge, so we have a free shuttle, and they send us at home. And we have designated areas that you need to drop off. So that's how we use our own the shuttle of the hotel for us to be able to go home. So yeah.
I thought the street was damaged by typhoon.
Yeah, but
outside.
it's damaged, the windows. Not totally, in the front side only. There is a moving window. It everything's a mess inside because it broke. Then the wind. If you visit Marriott, there is a round window. Round door. During the typhoon, it's continuously moving until it drop off on the sides, and it's so dangerous because it's so heavy. And once it it broke, like the glass, it will gonna shown to you, like it will. It's so like the people who are there near, who's like holding it, they might die because at that time. But unfortunately, there's no injured people. Like just there's some injured people, but like little only, not too much. And the people, also the police are helping a lot. I mean, the ambulance are there, so that's how good it is. The country, like the government, how they support the people. When it comes to this unexpected event or unexpected like typhoon. So I think for me it's good. I mean, it's not totally dangerous. It's just like we're on shock on the first, because it's the first time I experienced typhoon, even though I live in the Philippines. Because in the Philippines I didn't experience a typhoon.
Oh really?
Yeah, because because in our place there's no like a heavy typhoon. Only here in Macau is the first time that I experienced. But it's fine. It's okay.
Okay.
I don't mind.
So you experienced many typhoons in the Philippines. So you started.
I actually was there when the strongest typhoon, like in the history, struck the Philippines. It's the Typhoon Yolanda. If you heard it, it killed at least 10,000 people, and it was on my province. Yeah, I was there. Well, not really on the province, but I was in the city. So some of my family members live in the province where it struck the typhoon. So we went there by car because the airport was broken. So we went there by car, and I think the most thing that I was worried about is not really the road or any obstruction that we might face. It's the people, like, because of panic and scarce of the resources like food and water, they are trying to do everything that they can, like rob everything, like even the cars. They will try to like forcefully open you up and then try to steal everything that you have, especially food. Yeah, I think that's the thing that I was worried most about, and that was also the thing that I was worried about in Macau, because having to experience that, especially in Macau, it happened like just once in 50 years, right? If I'm not wrong. I was scared that people would take advantage of the situation and they would like try to rob the grocery stores and everything, and it would create a lot of breakout. But well, not I wasn't expecting that to. I was kind of expecting that to happen, but I'm happy that Macau was able to like rehabilitate very quickly from the situation, so it didn't went to that scenario. Like a lot of people from the mainland were helping. I can see like the soldiers here, so everyone was it was I think it went back to normal after a week. That's very good.
Yeah. So what was your most worry about after the Hato left?
Just like the transportation. Yeah, just I think there are buses that are not in service that time, like number 3, and then the roads are blocked. So I was like, how do I go to work? And then do I have to work to Macau Ferry? Yeah, that's the only thing I worry about.
But did you face the water and electric problem?
Yeah, like for 3 days, right?
Yeah.
So actually you live together.
And then we had to go down using the stairs. And the stairs didn't have lights, so we had to use the phone. And the phone, we don't have battery.
Okay.
So we had to like blind-eyedly go down, Yeah.
But how did you get weather after the weather supply is stopped?
No,
We just
wait until everything is okay.
Yeah, we don't have any water here and electricity, so we do everything that we need to do when we're at work, and so with that, when we came back here to our house, we don't have to worry about anything anymore. Yeah, it's very hard. Like, we need to take a shower at work and not here, and then you need to walk because there's no bus
at the company.
Yeah, at the company, because they have electricity, and this building we don't have. Actually, it's from this side of the area. All the buildings doesn't have electricity, but when you cross the street, they have everything. So yeah, it was crazy, and we were like 2 days late, right? Yeah, it was very inconvenient.
Okay. So, but because at that time the many restaurants didn't open, so how did you had a meal that time?
We had a lot of stock even before the storm came, cause his wife always have like a lot of things on the fridge, like on a normal day. Yeah, so we had them cook before it, like, cause we don't have electricity, so we need to cook everything. Yeah, so we never really run out of food, right?
For me, I'm lucky enough because I'm working in a hotel, so everything are free.
And I also work in the bakery, so yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's free there. I mean, you can charge your phone when you get home. Your phone fully charged, so it's okay. So I have nothing to worry about because most of the people, like if you're working in the hotel, so everything are free most of the time.
okay.
That's why you have a dress. You don't need to wash your clothes because basically people are worrying about how they're gonna wash their clothes because there's no electricity. But in the hotel, we have their shower room, we have their locker, we have their somebody will gonna iron our clothes for us to wear during the work. So I have nothing. I mean, it's yeah. For me, it's. I mean, there's no any problem.
Just
Yeah, there's no problem because we have transportation. Who's gonna pick us up? I mean, it's good for me. For me,
Okay.
but for them who experiencing like that,
yeah.
so it's hard for them.
Do you want to ask
Well,
something?
in this house, actually, I think the most problem that we
Going
have
out
is
without
how to save water, and then how to go to the toilet,
Yeah, without flushing the.
because we don't have enough water, and we're not sure if
yeah.
if you wanna pee, you wanna think about first, should I pee or should I just wait for tomorrow to pee? Because I'm not sure if you need to pee, you need to flush it down, right?
But it's a public WC downstairs. Do you know?
Uh,
Near the
yeah,
yeah,
the
but
park.
we live in the 15th floor.
Near the park. Near the
So
park.
if you want to like pee, you need to go down
There's
there.
the stairs going down.
You see,
Okay.
and then when you come back, you'd be very, very like thirsty, and you need a lot of water. If you consume a lot of water, you need to pee again.
It's hard for them.
So you know,
It's
can't
easy for me.
always-
Why? During the typhoon, I live in San Malo, which I work in I live in a higher in San Malo area. I live there during the typhoon, and then but we have electricity, we have water, by the time, but when they don't have, we have. Because at that time it's like they're focusing on the tourist destinations, which is San Malo. So they're providing most of the time the lights. They're helping they're putting they didn't close the water supply in that area because it's a tourist destinations. So because I'm living there, so I experience the privilege. I'm privileged enough to not to experience really bad when it comes to electricity, when it comes to water supplies. But for them, now again, they're unfortunate.
Are you kidding me? You were living here when
No, I'm not living here. I live in San Malo during the typhoon.
Really?
I'm not here. I'm not living here.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
So
she's
he
not
was
here.
not
I live
Yeah.
in San Malo.
Really?
Yes. So I'm just lucky enough for that moment.
So during that time, we haven't met.
No, we didn't met.
Oh.
We didn't met at that time during the typhoon.
Okay.
You just tell me that your experience, like he crossed the flood walking.
I just think I've known him for a long time. I guess not.
Yeah. I just known him like how many months?
I guess I can't really call him friend. Yeah, just kidding.
Okay.
Let's go back to the question.
Okay. Do you want to add something about the?
Yeah, maybe the only thing. No, not the only thing, but I actually worry about where to buy cigarettes at that time
Yeah.
because I smoke a lot, and then when typhoon came, and then it's like
His mom is
evening,
crying.
and then it's like I only have 3 sticks left, so like
That's what he's
how the
worried
fuck am I
about.
gonna survive this?
I'll survive this movie.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ, man, what am I gonna do? Yeah.
Okay. So you totally don't worry about any how you can survive
I mean, for the
without
food,
water. And,
we have food and water. We have stockpile of water right there.
that we have clean water, but we don't
Actually,
have
you know-
water to like wash the dishes or anything.
Okay.
So we
Actually,
use
you know,
disposable things.
Okay.
I mean, during the typhoon, for me, it's okay for me because I didn't experience a lot. For me, my concern is about the community, how they will cope up the tragedy, how the community, how the environment, how they were gonna clean up the mess, the garbage, how they were gonna start again. That's my concern about, because people who are living in Macau like experience this just for the first time, so they don't have any idea on how how to cope up this, how to live again. I mean, because of the mess that Hato give to the people. I mean, how they, because people are like do the panic buying, like they're buying a lot of stuff, maybe because they're thinking that maybe typhoon is coming again. So it's so like they are not being like trained. I mean, how do we call that? They are being like taught the government, like in case of this if this emergency happened, what they're gonna do first, because it's the first time. So by then the government are good enough that they and the China also support the Macau, right? Macau now it's easy for the people to forget what they have experienced because of the support of the government, which is very good. Because some countries like it happens, the government is just like just okay, it's fine, go ahead. But Macau government did a great job for me, as I have observed, because in just a matter of days, how the people recover in the tragedy, and it's so easy, and even me also. So it's good enough for me. This country, the government.
I
Or-
really think the Macau government did a good thing.
I mean,
Because-
good thing during what happened. I mean, during the typhoon, they did their best, to support the people. How how to manage, the problems, how to cope up. That's what they are doing, and I've seen it also, especially in the hotel. So the police are there, being supportive. And also, if you're gonna walk around during the what happened, the police are there, the community are helping each other, to help each other, just to cope up, as I told you earlier, how they will start again.
Do you compare Macau with another country actually?
To compare
In what
Philippines
way?
in what do you mean comparing how the government
Yeah.
assist?
Yeah.
To compare, for us Filipino, we are born to be helpful to each other. So even though how hard, we don't have any facilities, anything. I mean, we are not a really rich country. I mean, we don't have a very huge facilities to facilitate all the the problems that we encounter during the typhoon. But because of as a Filipino, because we are being helpful to it, and we're smiling even though we have experienced a lot of problems, we just smile, then go on with our life. That's how we live in the Philippines. And here also, like when you are at the government, the government are so helpful to us. But when we compare about the facilities, you can there's a difference. But because it's the matter of the people and how you deal with each other. And here, because we are living in different nationalities, and most of, I mean, the government are helping a lot, so easy for the people to recover. So I think that's the matter. Like, it should start from yourself for you to be able to to easily recover solve the issues or the problems that happen during the typhoon. I think that's the thing.
So, did you try to get information about when will the water and power supply be restored after?
Well, not really a public
I think-
announcement, like not from the government, but only from like the people, like the security guards from downstairs. Like we were frequently asking them when are we going to have the supply back.
For
and-
who you asking?
The security downstairs.
Oh, is he a Chinese guy or the?
Chinese guy, yeah, the one who works in the lobby. yeah, we just frequently ask them because we don't really know exactly when they will provide the supply. So yeah, we just ask people, but there were no like public announcement or anything. They just tell us like, "Oh, yeah, tomorrow we're going to have the electricity," and then when the day comes, are we going to have electricity? No, they said tomorrow again, like that. So we don't really have concrete idea, because the other street they have, but we don't. So yeah, so we don't know when. Yeah, we didn't know when we're going to have the supply back that time.
It's a matter of like people like informing us, like friends who living in that area, who live on the other side. So they're like messaging us like, "Oh, we have water here." There's a lot of, so it's a matter of communicating our colleagues, in the different places, and us in the hotel, the head officers in the hotel are consistent of informing us the news, what will happen. So we are being informed them, so they're so consistent about it. So because our hotel did a great, I mean even despite the fact that it's the first time happened in our hotel, they're doing their best, to help us, to inform us, to provide what we need. So they are giving us an ideas for us to be able, to survive on the certain circumstance and the problem that we have in here in Macau. So for me, if I had this ideas, so I share it to everyone. I share it to my colleagues. I share it to everyone.
Okay.
So that's how we, because as a Filipino, even though different people, we are telling to them like India and Nepal, oh, we have there, you can go there, go to this place. There's like there are a lot of like supplies of water. They're starting to open this kind of, so it's a matter of like communicating through messaging, through calling. So that's how it helps.
So you ask your friends.
Yeah, we asked our friends where is, so they told us like something happened there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a supply there, water supply. You can buy something there.
Mm-hmm.
So through that, we know about it.
Yeah. So you mean not only Filipino?
Yeah, not Filipino. Yeah. Even different, like even a colleague of different nationality.
Mm-hmm.
If they're gonna ask, so we informed them.
How did you know them?
No, randomly, like you're walking around.
Uh-huh.
So when they ask you about it, so you're gonna inform them. So not totally like you're informing them time to time. If they're gonna ask you about it, if you bring something, they will ask, "Where did you bought?" So you tell, "Oh, you go there. You go that's grocery. They're open." So like that.
So actually, you only ask question to the foreign laborers, not the Chinese guy, right?
No, if you have a Chinese neighbor who's asking you, you can If,
But I mean for you only.
Yeah, for me,
you.
yeah.
For your experience, you only ask the question to the
yeah.
foreign neighbors.
I'm being informed, then I
Mhm.
inform my colleague.
They're just
So
the
whatever
same,
whatever news I receive,
Mhm.
I just share it to some random people who ask me about it.
Yes. So you mentioned that you ask the security every day. So
Yeah.
is he the only resource?
I think in this building he's the most reliable one because he has the, like, because they manage the building, so I think he's the one who I should ask. So yeah, he just keep on telling me that it will be today, and then I don't, maybe he doesn't also know. I don't know.
Yeah, of course, because the owners also have a lot of So the owner will gonna inform the security downstairs, the reception. If somebody gonna ask you, of course,
Yeah.
definitely they were gonna tell.
I think in
okay,
this area, the electricity cables were broken down. That's why it took a long time to give the supply back. Yeah, because in that area, right near the Sunsco, I think there was like a post that was broken.
Mhm.
So they need to fix the post before the electricity supply will be back.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was their problem back then.
Did you seek any help to your neighbors? Do you
So
know
my
who are they?
neighbors, no, I don't know one of them. No,
Okay.
we never really ask help.
Actually, you don't need anything.
Yeah, but I
You can
think,
manage
but
himself.
I think,
No, just kidding.
but I think during the typhoon, I think the Filipinos were became very reliable to the Chinese. Because for us, this kind of tragedy is very normal, and for them, it's like all new. Like for instance, when the typhoon Haido was currently striking Macau, there's one instance whereas two elders were like trapped inside outside, and then they were hanging by the car, I think. And then one Filipino guy came to help without any hesitations. Like they brought down a rope just to help the guy without any intentions of having himself in danger. So just like that, I think it showcases how brave Filipinos are in those kind of situations, even though they don't really know the kind of the that people. I think it's a good thing that it sets good camaraderie to the Chinese and the Filipino community here in Macau. It showcases that Filipinos, even though we don't really know each other, it's not only we're here for work, but we're here as a friend too, like for the Chinese people. You know, we're here to help if there's something that we can do to you. Yeah. And there's also a lot of Filipinos that help, like during the recovery in Macau. Yeah.
It's just a matter of payback because you work in this country, so you need to help them. So.
Yeah. And for us, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so, but actually, you mentioned that your company still operate
Yeah. During
the
the time.
typhoon. So what are you doing that time?
Actually, during the time that Haido strike, I came home because I thought that they will close because the supply of electricity were cut. But after I came back, my boss was trying to call me, but then I don't have any service. So I wasn't able to go to work. And I will not go to work at the time because I need to cross the flood again to be able to go back. So it was very busy that time. But the day after is more busy because we were the only shop that was open. Yeah, because all the shops, all the bakeries were closed. Only my shop was open. So yeah, very, very busy. And the Chinese people are like buying everything without looking at the price. Because yeah, it was so busy, and then we were putting all the bread, and we don't have enough time to like put the names properly, and so they just take whatever that they can, and they don't even look at the price. So just
So they thought maybe a typhoon again. So they
some
bought
of them
everything.
even like, because you know the bread, right? It comes in a tray, and then there's a half sets in it. They don't take the small tray, the white tray where you used to put the bread. They take the whole tray and they go to the cashier. I'll buy this whole stuff like that. Yeah, so it was very busy.
Wow.
So it helps. So they are praying that typhoon will gonna, strike again.
Yeah,
For
and
them
by
to be
the
able to
time,
give
a lot of
profit.
people were buying too, and we don't have electricity, so they're doing the cashier manually, like writing all the bread, and then just wait for the electricity to come back and put it on the computer later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there's no manually doing everything. Yeah, it's very
Okay.
time consuming.
Yeah. So did you talk about something about typhoon between you and your college?
Yeah, a lot. Like before
Like
and
what?
after, but not the more or less the funny experience, I think. Yeah. Like going
Like what?
home, especially my experience.
Uh-huh.
Because I didn't tell my boss until now that I crossed the flood because she will kill me. Because she told me that if there's something dangerous, then come back to work. But I didn't. So I crossed the flood. I only told my student colleague about it. Yeah, it was like more of an experience for me. They were like, "Are you crazy? Like, why did you put yourself in danger just to go home when you can like go to the company?" Because I had to work. And then I need to work overtime if I stay at work. So I just like went home. Yeah.
So did your student college tell something to you?
Yeah,
Something
because
to you.
some of them lives in where do you call in the hindi yung part dun ng ano ba yung sa may ano ba yung beach Haksawan.
Uh-huh.
No,
Haksawan. No. Haksawan is the residential
Haksa,
part, right?
Uh-huh.
So
Like
that
the-
place, I think a lot of windows were broken.
Uh-huh.
I think one of the most damaged building, one of my colleagues lives there. So they were like eating dinner with the windows like open, like yeah, it was a funny story. Like she's telling me we're eating, and then everything was like falling down because the wind is so strong. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was
know
so
the
funny.
news.
Yeah,
Yeah, one of my friends lived in the building.
yeah.
Yeah, so he just every windows was broken. Yes. So you say that you stay at home at the first day,
Yeah.
and how about the second and
On the
third
next
day?
The next day it was like a very good experience at work because I work in a ferry, Matao, and then like who's gonna ride a ferry after the typhoon? So we don't have to do anything. Then we have extra like 250 for the typhoon allowance. Yeah, it was like we're just standing and sitting using our phones for like 5 hours, and then no one's coming because there's no people in there. So yeah.
So the ferry service stopped
Mhm.
that time.
Yep.
So until when it will stop?
There are ferries like 7 p.m. and then I was like I go home 3:30, but I waited for the bus because there's no bus until like 8 p.m. Yeah, so I just have to stay there.
So you don't know when will the bus come?
Yeah, actually, I was checking the news and then I was asking my colleagues to check the news for me. They're saying like 7:30, 8, and then I was just outside smoking and then sleeping at work.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, by which media or channel did you check the news?
TDM,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Also in the just in the phones.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you actually you didn't did anything
No.
at that days.
Yeah. Didn't do anything. There's nothing to do, but
So
the only problem there is that the water supply in the ferries is cut off, so all the toilets are full of shit and tissues. And then if you have to pee or if you have to like poo, you just can't. Just can't because it's like literally like so
mess.
full. You can't sit in there.
Why? Is it a flood?
Yeah,
Oh.
there's no water.
So did you need to help the community to clean the?
We don't
Clean
have.
area?
We didn't have to. Just go to work and then
It's a public
go home.
public toilet in the ferry.
In the ferry
Mhm.
terminal? Oh.
Yeah,
So nobody,
Like,
Why
nobody.
is there anyone cleaning it though?
because there's no water. Even if someone's gonna clean it, how would they?
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And it's so ironic that there's no water because beside of the building is the
It's like
it's a water So
because
don't know.
I think the water reservoir is
broken.
yeah. There's some kind of problem in there that's the machine's not pumping
But
water.
you had coffee machines, right? So how do you
Yeah.
make coffee?
We don't make coffee that day.
Oh, so you don't even have faucet water?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So do you think you are lucky?
Lucky to have.
Yeah,
that.
because I don't have
Have no work.
I don't have to do anything at work, but
At that time,
But
we had too much.
also I have to go super late because there's no buses. So lucky and unlucky at the same time.
In my workplace,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the toilet is very clean, no problem, but you don't have time to pee because there's so many people. Like I thought I was going to be sick that day not because I was in trauma with the weather, but because I was in trauma with the people. Like everyone was like, no one was speaking, just like this, and then my boss is like ordering me nonstop because we're trying to like profit for the day. It's like earning 1 week in 1 day. Yeah.
So as a baker, you
As a baker,
Bake more
my arms
bread.
were like sore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, very hard. I wouldn't even forget that day. It's very busy.
For me, it's easy. easy in a way that you're working totally, yeah, because you need to take care of the guests, still provide what they are asking, but because you're working in the hotels, you're safe there, so you're okay, so you have nothing to worry about. But it's a continuous, continuous work at that time, because they gave us an extra money. I think about 1,500, 1,500, for working on that day. So by the time that it happens, it's okay for us.
Yes. So you're so busy at that time.
Yeah.
And do you think that Macau mechanics are much more crazier than Filipino after the typhoon?
No, Philippines is a lot crazier.
No,
Before and
they
after the
experience-
typhoon.
I mean, it's natural for the Filipino to experience that kind of thing, because Macanese experience it for the first time. That's why they act like that, because they don't know what to do. They know what will happen in the future. So what they want, they're preparing themselves, to buy everything to prepare. Maybe it will happen again. That's what, because this is the first time for us. That's the different of the Filipino people who used to be experienced typhoon, rather than Macanese people who experienced it the first time.
Because I
So-
remember I was living in the city, and there was this storm called Typhoon Millennium. That is like Millennium. The name is Millennium in English. And I remember after the typhoon, it's been all schools were canceled for 1 week, and then water supply and electricity supply was the electricity supply was cut down for 1 week also, and then the water supply was cut down for 3 days. It's in the city. Just imagine the tragedy of not having electricity, and the students suffering not going to school for 1 week just because of the storm. And it's in the city. You should have like the urgency, as a government, you should have the urgency to do everything that you can to make it. But unlike here in Macau, it's very fast, 2 days and the city has been recovered already. And like in the Philippines, it's just crazy. But then it's like a normal thing for us Filipinos. It was never hard. You'd go out and you'd still see people smiling, yeah, it's even with all the trouble, it's a Filipino culture that no matter what kind of trouble that they're into, you'd still be seeing the smiles on their face.
Yes. So you mentioned that the experience during typhoon is so funny. Why you choose this word?
Funny, because I think a lot of people are
Because
overreacting.
to that moment.
No, because I think a lot of people were overreacting to it. They're not used to this stuff, and so they act like it's the end of the world. I think people are so amazed of what's happening. Especially the elders. Yeah, even
because this is
sometimes I see I see a lot of people carrying their dogs on the flood. I just think it's funny. I don't know how to explain, but yeah, I think it's funny.
You want to add something?
No, nothing. It's okay.
Okay, so do you know that Macau is strongly destroyed by typhoon at that time?
The what?
Destroyed. the
No, I
place.
mean what was destroyed?
It's like a tree and the tree.
Yeah,
making
I was actually recording everything when I came. So I was filming from Costa to the Red Market with while wearing my earphones. I was crossing the flood chest high wearing my earphones. I had the AirPods, so I was wireless earphone and just having my phone, and people looking at me I was so what's this guy doing? Why is he wearing AirPods? And I was trying to capture everything, put it on social media later.
Oh, okay. So can you show me later?
I actually do have the picture during the typhoon. I do. I'll show you later. I'll
show
look
me
for it.
later. Yeah, show me later. And how about you? If you choose a road to describe your experience during typhoon. What
How
road
describe
you-
your experience?
Just something new. Yeah.
something new?
Yeah,
Why?
because I've been here for for almost 4 years, and I've never experienced that before. That's my first time, and then, like I said earlier, it was like a breath of fresh air, because like you don't have to worry about going to work, and then everyone is just like, I see all the people down there, kids, elderly people, they're like just outside looking at the floods, like they just experienced that for the first time also, the flooding. And then you kind of see like businesswomen who have properties destroyed, they're sad, but you see other people like they're happy. Yeah, because they're just playing outside, they have tubs they put in the water.
What kind of the people? They are.
Yeah, the local people. They're like, because I told you there's a lot of fish downstairs, and then like all the people are getting tubs and then buckets, and then they're like covering the fish and then taking it. Yeah.
Okay. So did you experience a typhoon in Philippines?
Not that much, because I live in the central Philippines, and if ever there are typhoons, it will cross the other places first before it comes to our place. So the wind wouldn't be that strong, and then the rain wouldn't be that heavy. So I think Typhoon Hado, that's the strongest wind I've experienced in my whole life.
Yes. And how about you?
As I've told you earlier, that it's the first time for me to encounter like heavy rain. I mean, not heavy rain, typhoon. Because way back in the Philippines, I live in a city also. Like, it's just a normal heavy rain, flood, a little bit flood. That's how it is. Well, here in Macau, I experienced heavy wind. Some building collapse. I mean, not totally collapsed. That the windows are broken. Our door in the hotel are broken, and the people do the panic. They don't know what to do, and the I think for me, I will take it like a good learning experience, so that in the future, I may inform the next generation. I mean, my grandchildren, what the next steps. I mean, what are the steps that you're gonna do if you experience this kind of thing? Because basically, when you learn about the government, how they deal with that situations, so I can apply it. If I will be experienced, in the future also the same thing. So I know what to do. I don't need to do panic. I need to calm myself. I need to survive. That's how it is. So because you will take it negatively, it will be like it'll give you more stress, more problems. So take it a positive, like I experienced this because there's a reason why it happens. So in the future, you're okay, you're fine, and easy for you to recover in the future. I mean, on the time that you experienced it. So basically, be positive all the time. Be thankful that you're still living, and you give this experience for you to be able to survive in the next or in the future. That's how it is.
You mentioned that you lived in Saint-Malo.
Yeah, that time.
Last year. So, who did you stay with?
I stay with like this also. I stay with one. Like we are three. I mean, there's 3 rooms in the house like this also. Then there are people like they're good enough also to support me also when it comes to the food also, because basically I work in the hotel, so I eat already. I'm okay. When the time I went home, I just sleep. I just talk to them a little bit and I sleep. I have my own room at that time, so I live alone. Then I have one colleague also live with me. Then just normal. I'm not. I mean, I didn't walk around. I just walk around just to buy something. Then I go back to sleep and rest, because it's so crazy in the hotel. a lot of work, a lot of cleaning. So when you went home, you need to rest for you to be able to work the next day.
Mhm.
So it's fine, I think it's fine. In San Malo, it's easy, it's okay because there's no flood at all in San Malo.
Mhm.
Only in the lower part.
Mhm.
But in my area,
Mhm.
it's totally fine because we're in the
紅窗門街
yeah, sorry.
紅窗門街
On what?
紅
He doesn't know.
Okay anyway
What is that?
紅窗門
Hong Chomun is what?
it's
Okay.
a street
It's a
name
street name.
A
but
street
it's
name.
Chinese street name but I
Yeah,
don't know
I live in the near the church.
okay
So that's the place where I'm living on the top of it.
so
So it's not the flood's not there.
okay
So it's okay.
yeah
So at that time I'm so lucky enough, rather than them who
Mm-hmm.
experienced the flood,
Mhm.
experience walk,
Mhm.
using the stairs just to reach the place where you're gonna rest. For me, I have nothing to I don't need to use the stairs, so I'm living in the ground floor.
Uh-huh.
But then still high,
Mhm.
the water didn't
Yes.
go up, so I'm okay.
So how was your roommates? Did they
Yeah,
face any
For them,
problem?
they face because they work not in the hotel. They work in at home. They work in hospital as a cleaner, so they experience using the transportation, walking in the flood. So compare on me, they experience harder. So there will be a difference from me and my colleagues.
Mhm.
But then again, they need to work because if they don't work, they didn't get paid. They didn't get paid, so they need to work even though it's hard for them.
Mhm.
So they
how hard was that?
how hard
Uh-huh.
how hard when it comes to transportation. So you need to wait long time. When it comes to also to food in their place because they need to cook food
Mhm.
for then they're gonna bring it in the workplace. So they need to buy and they're stressed already.
And their
Okay.
boss will ask them to like irrigate water from the streets.
Mhm.
Like carrying a lot of buckets, and then the boss will ask to like, okay, take some water out from the streets and then bring it up here like several times,
Okay.
and it's
If
becoming
you are-
their job.
if you are a
Okay.
helper, you'll do it so hardly. Because you have a boss,
Mhm.
you need to follow them. So you're gonna. They said that they've been doing more time. 100 times harder than the usual daily job that they're doing to the workplace. Because you need to clean hardly, because of the mess. Water is not available, supplies are not available, so it's really hard for them
Yes.
to survive in a way that they're going to their workplace.
Mhm. So do you think that your company was concerned about your situation that time?
Yes, I'm telling you earlier that they are concerned to us, because even the Taipan is not there. We are the priority. We called associate and ladies and gentlemen in our company. So we're the priority because they think that if they priority their staff, their people, they will gonna do a good job to the guests. That's their idea of surviving or having a good profit, lots of people coming in our hotel because they are providing all the associates stuff what we really need. So they're concerned about us. So of course, if your company provides everything what you want, so you will work nice, right? It's just like a payback. Like they give us everything what I want, I will work nice for my company because they are the one who's paying for me. So that's my experience in my new company now in the hotel. So it's good enough for me. Rather than the people like different, they experience different things also. So I'm just fortunate that I've been, blessed to have that company. Who are really, concerned about me, because despite of the tragedy, despite of the typhoon, what happened, I didn't feel it. I mean, more hardly, because they take good care of us. That's how lucky I am. And most my colleagues also in the hotel. So it's better. I mean, it's good. Not good in a way that there's a typhoon. It's good that it lessen the stress. It rather than like to to cry on the side. We are working still good because they help us. They provide what we need.
So how about you? Do you think that your company was concerned about what your situation?
I don't think so. Because when I went to work the next day after the typhoon, I was checking WeChat, and then some of my colleagues in the restaurant, they were asking this girl to like come to work, but she's from Shuhai, and then there are things falling, the wind's still strong, and then I was like, why do you even ask her to go here? It's so dangerous outside. Yeah, it's like, do you even care about the safety of your colleagues? That's just it.
Yes. So how about yourself?
Well,
Did your company or hire employee just give you some support?
actually, they gave us water and some cup noodles at work, like to bring home and then like eat for stuff. But the other thing, I'm not. They were asking me to go to work, and then I was telling them, how do I go there? We don't have a bus yet, so how am I gonna cross the street? There's still flood. They were like, yeah, just walk here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like,
So your company is in Thai part of Macau.
just here in Macau, but I work in a ferry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
The ferry
very
from there.
far. Yep.
Okay. And how about you? Do you think your company is concerned about was concerned about your?
No, I don't think they're concerned.
Why?
Well, they were concerned when the storm is going on, but after the storm, they just care about how they will like be able to contact me and to work, because after I came, I think they didn't care about the situation. They just care about the money because they're taking advantage of the people coming inside the store. Like it's nonstop, and then they don't care if I take like OT forever. Like, okay lah, we'll pay you the money. Just work and work. I think I worked for 13 hours that day. So crazy.
Oh really?
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't think they cared 1 minute. They just care about the money during the time. But they were very they care a lot when I was in. They care a lot when I was during the typhoon, but after the typhoon, they didn't care. Like just coming here and work. Like we need money. Like
Okay. So did anyone seek your help after the typhoon left?
seek my help in terms of what?
Like
Public.
like the
Like people, like
yes, like anything, like the because
not
it's,
really. Well, here in the household, maybe like
because
asking if I could like buy some water. I think just like that, but not really help from other people. No,
yeah.
I was helping myself. We were all just helping ourselves.
Helping in a way, like helping to, if we met somebody like need help,
Yeah,
we can
like
help.
where we can buy these
But
things.
voluntarily, yeah. But to help like financially, I mean, to help, I think we can do a little amount of money, but not like totally we do volunteer ourselves, like, because for me as an experience, when there are some Chinese people, Filipino people also, they cook food, a lot of food, then they just give to those people who are in need. By the time in Bara, I saw it. Then for free, they're not paying for it. So there are some like not only Filipinos, but there are some Chinese people also like doing it. But most of the people, most like the Filipino, they're how can they help their Filipino also? They if they are like earning more, they cook a lot of like food. They like tapao, right? Yeah, they do the tapao like that. Then every people who pass by in that area, I saw in Sansan, Sansan Hotel. There's a park there, so they stay there and then they distribute the food to those people or Filipino who are in need of the food. Yeah, that's how like Filipino are I mean basically we are in the Philippines. We used to help. If you have a money, so you can just share your blessings to everyone. That's how we live in the Philippines. Because even though we are not rich, as long as you have like extra, we provide and we share our blessings to them.
Yes. So, do you think that if you understand Chinese, you will?
We can do better. We can help better.
You can survive better after typhoon.
I can survive better.
You mean that you can get more information?
Oh, of course, because during that time, I think all the informations were transferred by words, like words of the mouth. So, because there's no electricity, so there's no internet or something. So, all the things that we need, like information, is Chinese. Like, the guy from downstairs, which is my only reliable person, doesn't know how to speak Chinese. I doesn't know how to speak English. So if I knew how to speak Chinese, I think I'd better understand him, because the only thing that he can say is like tomorrow. So I think he doesn't know how to say like tomorrow, like the day after tomorrow. He doesn't know how to say that. So I think if I were able to speak Chinese, I'd be able to understand why we're not like having electricity yet and the other street has. I think I'd have a better understanding if I do know how to speak Chinese. Yeah, it would be very helpful.
So you don't ask the question to your neighbors?
No, because we don't know each other. Like here, yeah, I don't know anyone.
Oh, okay. So you're so shy or
not shy, but I don't know. It's like a Chinese thing. Like neighbors doesn't know each other, especially foreign neighbors. We don't meddle in each other's business. I don't know why we don't talk to the neighbors. Yeah.
Okay.
We're actually the only Filipinos in the building.
Yeah. So do you check it in?
No. Do you check with the neighbors?
No, never.
Yeah.
Like just the guards downstairs.
Yeah.
He's
We're
like
not close.
very close to me.
Yeah.
So I just ask him when's the typhoon gonna end and stuff.
And the neighbors here are not very friendly. So.
Okay.
That's the reason why.
Oh, it's very funny because
Not friendly because they don't know they don't know us. It's just a matter
we're
like
also
they're shy now.
considering we're also not friendly because we're friendly in a way that when we get along in the elevator, we'll say like hi, but not really. Actually, no, we don't communicate with the neighbors here. I don't know why. Maybe in my old house.
Like,
Maybe
they
in my
feel
old
that
house.
We can speak Chinese. If we can speak Chinese and we can communicate with them, maybe they're gonna talk to us. Because if we speak English, so they are hesitant, to reply us back, because they can speak English, like we used to, If we can speak Chinese, I think they were gonna communicate properly for us. Like him, he
So,
can
yeah.
communicate nicely to the reception downstairs, so they can just talk. The person who's staying downstairs, they can they talk. But us, just sign language. Hi, hello, ni hao,
Okay.
chosan,
Okay.
just only greeting. Then we go up.
Yeah. So can you understand the security when
When he talk.
when
Yeah. Not everything, but I do like 80%.
So you get
Yeah, I get the message, just not exactly like every word. I don't understand every word, but I get what they're trying to tell me.
Just the
Just the meaning.
Yeah. So you get with many useful information from the security. Yeah, like what?
Like I was asking them, when are we gonna have electricity back, water? Then is the typhoon gonna go away now, or is it staying here in Macau? Yeah, just basic information that I think I really need to know about.
So you only ask the security.
And also my colleagues, yeah, I ask them everything.
Okay. So, what do your college come from?
Mostly from Shuhai.
Oh, so they come every day. Come to Macau.
Yeah. But during the typhoon, some of them weren't able to go to work.
Okay. Yeah. So, the last question is, if you have a chance to talk to the Macau government, what will you suggest that they can help the foreign laborers after the next before the next time, or when the next typhoon comes? What do you want the government will help you?
I think it's all about the prior notice, especially if you're from Macau and then you need to go to Taipa. I think if you are going to be able to know that there would be a big storm, I think it would be better to set up the signal as early as you should, so that it wouldn't create a lot of trouble for the people, especially not only for the foreign workers but everyone in Macau. Because just like what happened last time, it was such a big inconvenience. Even though I do understand that it's not easy to do their job, especially to monitor the weather system, because the weather is ever changing. But in his case, I think, well, they said he was like controlled by the big companies, like not to raise the level warning high in the morning so that the employees would come to work. I do understand that they're also thinking about it, but next time I think it would be better if they would just, like, if they think that this is the accurate way, then they should accurately provide the message to the people and not wait for it to worsen, like what happened, because it only creates a big problem.
And how about you?
I mean, it's not a really bad experience for me. We've had worse in our country, and then compared to Macau, after like a month, we have a free water bill. We don't have to pay for the electricity.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and some people are giving out clean water.
So you have nothing to say about
Then
suggest.
To the weather system, to the weatherman.
What you
like I told you, we've had worse. Back
So
in
they're
the
going
Philippines.
to the good, right?
Even in our country, they're like gonna tell you we're gonna have a very strong typhoon in 2 days, but still the people in the government still aren't ready, right?
Yeah, just like the other day, the news report told the local news that okay, so tomorrow we'll have 100% chance of having rain, and then the next day come and it's very like sunny and no rain came, and then the people were like, okay lad, the weather system is so reliable in the Philippines, like so crazy, and it became a funny like a funny internet meme because of that, because so crazy. And compared to the Philippines, I think Macau weather monitor system is very, very good and quite accurate, actually.
Yeah.
I hate the Philippine weather system.
Okay. And
what can I suggest to the government
Yeah.
here? Then for me, like as I've said also earlier, that they did their best to support the situation. For me, just like constantly like informing the people, like giving them a lot of training, especially the people, the community. At least they know what to do, if it happens again. Because because governments are the like the father of the country. I mean, they are the one who are gonna support the people. Like, so they will gonna provide like I mean, they'll prepare more facilities. At least we're ready enough. I mean, they're ready enough. Like if it happens, we're okay. We have nothing to worry about. I think that's the more preparations, more informations they should provide to the community, to the people. I think that's the way I need to suggest, because people will just follow. Like, you know, if you are gonna give you some information, if you have the knowledge about it, easy for you, easy for everybody, you know, to face the problem. Yeah, because if you're not aware, of course, if you don't know nothing, how you will gonna survive? How you gonna do during that situation? So if you have full knowledge, we have the facilities, we are, you know, the government are supporting us, I think we have nothing to worry about. So that the government should, like, as I've said, provide the facilities, provide the knowledge, you know, constant communications to the people, like a news. So the news will gonna help, you know, to help, I mean, to inform the people that this will happen, you know. So that's how it is, you know, informing them, knowledge. That's how it is.
I think they should also like so since that typhoon came already, so they should know which places are very prone to like danger, like
So
in
they're
big
gonna focus
danger.
on that place.
So I think they need to like put a lot of precautions to those kind of place, like for example in Haksawan, here in the
Ibarra.
Red Market, which I think I think there's a place where someone died in the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
So I think in those kind of places they should like put a lot of precautions to the people, like awareness, so that
Signs.
they would know not to stay in that place when typhoon comes. Yeah, so to avoid like casualties, like people dying.
Sorry, knowledge.
But how about what should government do more for the foreign laborers, do you think?
For foreign laborers.
Yes.
Mm.
Do you think they should
I
give
think
some
they should issue more, like, because most of the foreign laborers that are working in Macau doesn't usually speak Chinese, and in this kind of situation they don't really spread a lot of like reports in English, which we don't really understand, and we can't really rely on anyone when it comes to it. So I think it would be better if they would provide a lot of information in English, you know, not only in Chinese.
So you only see the Chinese information, right?
Yeah, Chinese information. That's why we always ask like the guy there is the only one that we can rely on, because we don't really have any information, because you usually see a lot of signs downstairs, like paper flyers about some things, but it's all written in Chinese, so we don't really get what they
So
mean.
the government should decide, like, you know, like in other countries, like in Dubai, in Middle East, they have Arabic and English translations, because they should accept the fact that Macau is no longer like more local here. I mean, more Chinese. So we're living in a different nationality. So for us to be able to communicate everyone, because English is our language. I mean, people can, you know, communicate through English, even though you are Nepal. If they were gonna, you know, take, you know, how do you call that? Take concern of more English language to communicate, it will be easy for us, you know, to help each other.
But you know, come to think of it, this place is a Portuguese colony. So the reason why they don't really have a lot of English translations is because it's already translated, not in English but Portuguese. Like if you see like exit, like you'll see a translation, but it would be in Portuguese.
Actually,
You know?
should change about, like,
You know what I mean?
Chinese,
They don't
English.
really need to change.
Or
I think
let
they
me
need to
add.
add.
English, Chinese, Portuguese. At least there are, you know, everybody can understand. Like if you are, you know, Chinese, you have Chinese. If you're, you know English, you can know English. Portuguese, you can know Portuguese.
It's all about
At
communication,
least, yeah,
especially
because
in
this is
that
very
time.
important. You know, even though you're different nationalities, if you know each other's language, I mean, the English one, which is the people are trying to, you know, to practice, easy for us to help each other. I think basically that's the government should, you know, give also importance, because communications is very important when it comes to any situations. Like for us now, we speak English, we understand each other, even though you are Chinese We are Filipino because we speak English. We understand. I know what you want. I know your situation, so I can help you. Now, so basically, that's how the government should, practice. I mean, think about by adding English as a language of this this country, for to have a better life, better communications, better in the future, of course, especially the young kids. But the young kids here, can speak English, which is the better, at least in the future, because most of the people here that we didn't speak English are the people who are older people. That's how. So basically, government should try to give on English instructions, English communications to understand each other.
Yes. Okay. But you have some Filipino friends in Macau, right?
Yeah, I do.
So, how was the what? During the typhoon?
How we like help each other?
No. What did you know their experience during typhoon?
Their experience. Well,
Did they
actually, my aunt.
chat with each
Yeah.
other.
Oh, we do. Actually, my aunt lives here in Macau, but we don't live together. So at that time, I think they weren't able to have cash because all the ATM machines were all turned down, right? So they didn't have any cash with them, but the only way to transact with the stores is through cash because you can't transact because all the banks were down. So they need to like come here to ask cash from me. And yeah, I let them borrow cash, but they had to walk from the San Malo Road until here to here.
Okay.
So that was one trouble, and that is just to buy water because they don't have cash.
Okay.
Yeah, just the trouble for having water, right?
Okay.
Water is life.
Yeah, they need to buy water. They don't have cash. They do have they do have money, but it's in the bank.
Okay.
So in times like this, if you should always have cash.
Prepare
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah.
So the
So.
problem, there's no cash.
But I love how Macau didn't raise the prices in the stores, especially the water. The government is restricting the stores to like have a hike in the water prices. It's just very good because the stores will not take advantage of like doing business in this kind of situation, which is very nice.
Yes. So how about you? Do you know your friends, Filipino friends, experience during typhoon, and how was it?
They were living in Kangwoo, and then their place is like elevated, so I think they're safe. Yeah. I asked them like.
That's the good thing if you live in the
them.
mountain.
Yes.
Yeah, they were good. They had water ahead of us and electricity.
Because we're in the low part area here in Hong Sia.
Yeah.
So we're in lower part, so the water,
Yes.
falls down on us. So
GC, this is not Mungkaisi.
no, I mean in this area near Hong Sia, right? And we're near to the sea.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. So, the very last question, because I know there's several Filipino organization in Macau. So do you know
Like join
some action?
I only know one, like
we don't
the.
know anything of the
No, there's a lot of organizations here, Filipino organizations,
I
but
know a lot of organizations.
but the
Okay.
most active one is the organization for the household workers.
That's what you know.
You know, they are the one who I always saw on the internet, like protesting something, because like 70% of the Filipino foreign workers here in Macau all works in the hard labor or in the house, so they have a lot of concerns when it comes to a lot of things.
Salary.
Yeah, with salary, employment, the way that the bosses treats them, the
Right.
rights and like that.
Actually, here, like a lot of Filipinos, they have their own groups. So they have own vision. They have own mission. There are some. For me, I have known some groups like they provide entertainment. You know what I mean? Like during like any occasions, like Chinese New Year, like any occasions, they're providing like they dance, they sing, they provide this one. There are some organizations also like they're helping some Filipino who are concerned about like who has a problem, you know, in their own, you know. So they are what they are also doing. So actually, a lot of organizations here of the Filipino. So they have the same vision and mission, like to help the Filipino workers here in Macau.
We just don't belong to one of them.
Okay, so did you know the leaders?
No.
The details not really no, because I'm not part of them.
Okay.
I just know them random, you know, people like they're in a group. You are part of this group, or you are part of this group.
Mostly a religious group.
Okay. Yeah.
There's some religious group also, yeah.
A lot.
So you don't
We didn't-
participate in
participate.
any?
Yeah, I'm not
any-
religious too.
They just only like invited us, but because we're busy
Yeah,
enough.
very busy at work, so I don't know how they can able to cope up with having groups like that.
Yeah.
You know, they have a lot of time.
Okay.
Again, most of the group here working in the house, so they
Uh-huh.
have. So every Sunday they have the same off. Unlike us, we're different off, so we can just
Yeah,
you know we can
you can't break
Can-
it off.
stay together most of the time. But for them, because they're working in the same workplace, I mean same work, so every Sunday it's their leave. I mean, so they can just stay each other, so they can
So what's your work schedule?
My work
It's a-
schedule.
It's a 6-day off, a day on and 1 day.
Yeah, just a regular, same as the locals. I work sometimes from 6:30 in the morning up until. Well, when I first started to work in that company, I work 6:30 to 7:30
Okay.
at night. That's like 12 hours, excluding the lunch. So that's 13 hours. I stay longer than in my house.
Okay.
But now that I get used to my work, I work 6:30, sometimes until 4:30, 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
For me, I work 8 hours every day,
Okay.
minus 20
Every day. So
every
you,
day.
you don't have the
Overtime.
holiday.
Sorry,
You don't have the holiday.
holiday. No. I mean, I work 8 hours every day, and I have in 1 week I have 1 day off.
Okay.
So most of the time 8 hours every day,
Okay.
but 1 hour break
Okay.
because we have our own canteen. I mean, for free food, everything. So easy for you. You don't need to go out and eat. If you want to eat, go out. You can eat, but most of the time we eat inside the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's easy.
Yeah.
Same, same.
How about you?
How many hours?
Eight and a half.
Mm-hmm.
1 day off.
Yeah, 1 day off.
But I like working long hours because Macau government pays OT. You know,
Overtime pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
but
if you get like
More hours, more
30,
money.
yeah,
it
30
depends on your company actually.
Yes.
Oh,
If
it
your
depends
boss-
if the company will comply to the government.
Because I know there's
Sam
some
didn't complain, right?
yeah.
Yeah, but it's illegal. My boss
No,
complies to the
yeah.
government.
In my first
Okay.
job here in Macau,
Uh-huh.
they're so very clever. They didn't pay our overtime.
You
Yeah.
can't. In my company, if you
I'm
overtime for
lucky
30
having
minutes,
this,
they
uh-huh.
should pay it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That you are lucky.
Yeah. I'm the lucky one.
He's lucky. Now I'm lucky in my company.
Yeah, you're because you're working in a large company. Okay, so thanks for you.
Or, so well, this is the case. We saw a 16-wheeler truck. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So the truck doesn't have the container luggage. So what we did, even so the driver would have to like slow down
Mm-hmm.
because of the flood.
Mm-hmm.
So even though the truck is running,
Mm-hmm.
some people, including me, because I'm crazy,
Mm.
I went up to the truck while it's moving,
Okay.
so that I won't have to walk to the flood, and so like this.
Yeah.
Like this is in Manila. That's
Oh.
me. While the truck is running. That's me.
Okay.
And we're crazy,
Okay.
you know. And this is happening on the main road.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a very, very long flood. I was just like singing. And my mom is like going to kill me
Uh-huh.
when I showed her this.
Okay.
I couldn't retrieve the one in Macau, but I was like not wearing a shirt and then just wearing the AirPods and just walking there.
Okay, fine.
Really?
Yeah, but actually, because I wasn't in Macau at that time. I was
So
in
that's where you're at.
Indonesia. So actually, I just looked the video. I only looked the video. But
So
I
you,
don't-
you know you
So
missed
you
a
haven't
great
been in
opportunity.
Macau when the typhoon came?
No, I've been in Macau for 6 years, but
Oh.
at that time I was traveling Indonesia, so I missed the big news and
What are you doing in Indonesia?
travel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I missed the big news because I have an internship in television at that time.
How old are you?
24
Oh, just the same.
this year. Yeah. But, yes, everything.
So you're still in the university, well, at your age, 24. But
Yeah.
basically in the
third
Philippines,
year.
Master degree.
master degree.
Oh,
Yeah.
master's degree.
It's a master degree now,
Yeah. Not bachelor.
not a bachelor, right?
Yeah.
He graduated
Yeah. So I
2 years more, right?
no 3 years more because
Oh, okay.
I want to stay in Macau for long.
To get a master
Oh,
degree, you need to get 4 year,
No,
4 year,
3 years.
3 years only.
Some 2,
Um,
some 3.
The normal
I
the normal one is the 2 years.
Yeah, in the
but-
Philippines,
but-
it's not 3 years. Yeah, it's
It's
like
3 years.
around a bit 2 years,
Yeah,
not totally.
Yeah.
To get a master degree.
yeah, because we can stay longer. Because
for the visa, right?
yeah, because I have an internship now, so I want to stay here for
So
1 year longer.
Originally, you're from Zhuhai?
Yeah, I'm from Canton, Guangzhou. Do you know?
Guangzhou, I know. My friend,
Yeah.
my best friend is from Guangzhou.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Like Hong Kong, right?
Uh,
Not in Hong Kong, but
It's
the
a
condition.
different country, but
Yeah.
yes,
A lot of fake things.
the
What do you mean?
also in the Cantonese culture area, but there's difference between.
So you're
culture.
planning to work after you get the master degree. You're planning to work where?
I don't know. I don't have any plan because I don't think that Macau is a good
Yes.
city for me to
Yes.
It's very boring.
to set up
Yeah.
the
So you better
the
stay,
career.
like, you try to, to experience Philippines.
No.
No, wait. Not to give you a discouragement,
not
like, when you try the
journalistic.
Philippines, because in the Philippines,